Good day, sir. Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. I'm a former Texas native, so I'm happy. This is a good day for you, sir. How you feeling?
Yeah, real good. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that part's done. I just want to play some football now. Really, that's all cool, the combine stuff. But I'm a football player at the end of the day, so I'm ready to get out there and do that.
All right, so got a couple questions for you. One, since you mentioned Indy, you don't feel raw that there's not a combine this year. And two, you play in the Big 12, and I mean, you've been giving people Raider rash all year, but you might get overshadowed by the big names like the Humphreys of Oklahoma and the Ben Clevelands. What separates you from the rest of the field?
Shoot, I mean, I think I'm the most physical player in this draft, to be honest with you. That's what I've stood by since I started this process. Like, the way I finish people, the attitude I bring to the game, I think that's what separates me, is I'm just a dog out there, and I love the game, and I just love moving people against their will. That's what I love to do, so I think that's what separates me.
Good luck.
Go to Josh Allen.
Hey, Jack, how are you doing today?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I just want to ask you, throughout this process, has there anyone that you've kind of leaned on for support, kind of pick their brain, someone who's gone through the pre-draft pro day process? And have you had any conversations with the Buccaneers during it as well?
First question, yeah. My trainer, Duke Manyweather, is a guy that I really trust, and I've been working with him since like 2018, I believe. So that's someone that I really relied on for advice as far as that goes. But a current player, one of my best friends, Terrence Steele, we lived together out here, played a lot of games together, and that's someone he's playing for the Cowboys right now. So that's someone that I really relied on in that way.
Go to Eric Kelly.
Go ahead. Any
Go
communications
ahead.
with the Buccaneers?
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that part. Yeah, I met with the Buccaneers at the Senior Bowl in person.
Awesome. Best of luck on the journey.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, Eric.
Jack, in terms of what teams or what people have told you, what were the big things that you were trying to show NFL personnel today?
Probably just that I can do it all. I got some reps at center, started every game at guard here at Tech. I just wanted to really just show them that I'm ready for the next level. And of course, the bench press is something that every O-lineman gets judged on pretty hard. And with my shoulder injury, then obviously that's something that people are looking at, having to miss some games in 2019. But 27 reps, I feel pretty good about that. Not mad about that at all. Always want more, but I think that's pretty good.
Go to Matthias.
Thank you. Jack, here is Matheus Ornelas from Time Out here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. You just said about your shoulder injury. How do you think that the Pro Day, the Senior Bowl, the chance that you have to talk to the NFL teams and show that your shoulder is not a concern anymore? How do you think that helped you having these events for show for the NFL that your health is good?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think I had a good week in Mobile out there. I think I showed I can play center, left guard, right guard, shoot, put me at tackle. We'll figure it out. Put me at tight end. Let's figure that out. I think I can play whatever. So I think that was the main thing that I was trying to get accomplished there. And as far as the shoulder goes, I feel better than ever before. I know a lot of dudes not putting 27 reps up with two perfectly healthy shoulders or whatever you want to call it. I'm perfectly healthy, but teams are always going to look at that a little negatively. But shoot, I'm happy with that, and I think if that doesn't prove that I'm 100%, then I don't know what will.
Take care. Good luck.
Go to Ryan King.
Hey, Jack, I know in this process you have a lot of people dissecting you and whatnot, positive and negative. What have been some of the reoccurring things? I know you mentioned the versatility, but what are some of the reoccurring positive and, things you should work on that you've been hearing from teams?
I hear from teams, like a few of them think that, he played every game at right guard, so that kind of limits me, but that's not the case at all. I think I showed that at the Senior Bowl. I can play center. I can play left guard. You can put me wherever. I think that's something that's huge for me is letting teams know that. But, yeah, I think I hear that, and, I think teams are pretty positive about the way I play the game, how nasty I am, and I think that's a reoccurring thing that teams can see.
Go to Alex.
Hey, Jack, Alex Kazor, Steelers Depot. You mentioned you've been working with Duke Manyweather. I know he's worked with so many offensive linemen. How did you get connected with him, and what has he really taught you specifically? And have you had any contact with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, so I started working with Duke in like 2018 when I was still here at Tech. One of the summers, I just went down back home in Dallas for a few weeks. So it really worked out nice that he lives in Dallas and trains out of there. That's where I'm from, so that was cool. Just paid out of my own pocket to go work out with him and while I was in college. And the main thing with him is balance and core strength and just putting everything together as far as hands, feet, fluidness in the position. And I think that's something that I've gotten really good at. And yeah, I've met with the Steelers in person at the Senior Bowl and I think 1 or 2 Zoom calls so far with them.
Go to Megan.
Hi, Jack. Megan Price from Sideline Sports. You started 38 games over the course of your college career. Do you think that gives you an edge over the other guards also in the draft? If so, specifically what?
Yeah, 38 games. I mean, I think that definitely – I think I had more – like I think I had this top 5 most snaps in this draft, top 10 of any O-lineman. So I think that really helps a lot. Like you don't know how to play until you're out there doing it, and I think I've been doing it at a high level for 4 years now. I started every game as a freshman, and yeah, I think that's what separates me also is the experience that I have out there, and nothing's going to be too fast for me. I played right away at Tech, played right away in high school and varsity. Like I look forward to competing for a spot right away in the NFL.
Awesome. Have you talked to Dallas?
Yeah, I have twice now.
Good luck. Hope to see you in Dallas.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Go to Faraz. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
No, it's all good, man. Hey, Jack, what's up? Congratulations on everything, and hope this draft process goes well for you. Where do you see yourself playing at the next level in terms of position? You see yourself sticking a guard? You mentioned, previously that, you're potentially talking to other teams about playing multiple positions. Have you had any conversations with other teams in terms of playing a different position outside of guard, whether you're potentially moving to center? Also curious to know if you had any talks with either the Jets or the Bengals.
Yeah, as far as the position versatility goes, yeah, that's something that every team's been real big on is that they want me to be able to play, right guard. I think I'm really good at right guard. Center, I feel like I excel there, and my knowledge for the game is good, and I feel like I can get everyone on the same page there, as I did at the Senior Bowl. And then left guard, I got a bunch of snaps at left guard during that week, so that's something that they really focus on as far as position versatility is something that these teams like. So I'm happy about that, and I feel comfortable at all 3. And then the 2 teams you mentioned, yeah, I've met with both of them in person at the Senior Bowl.
Thanks.
Go to Ronald Clark.
Couple questions, Jack. Do you have any sort of draft day plans, like where you'll be watching the draft or anything like that? And then also, what would it mean to you to hear your name called on draft day?
Yeah, so as far as a little get-together, I'm probably going to have a few people over at my mom's house back home in Dallas, friends, family, get everyone over there and celebrate that whenever I get drafted. And, yeah, it's going to mean the world to me. Like, to be completely honest, like I've been dreaming about this since I was 7, 8 years old. Like I've always told people, like, all right, what do you want to do when you're older? In like 3rd grade, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to the NFL. And they'd be like, no, like, what do you really want to do? Like, no, I'm going to the NFL, and here we are. So I love that, and that I have a sense of pride about that whole deal. I've been chasing this dream for so long.
We'll finish with Eric Kelly.
Jack, I know you've been asked about specific teams, but just off the top of your head, how many teams have you talked to?
Yeah, I met with all 32 in person. Like 15, 20 minutes, talked to all 32. And then since then, I bet I've had Zoom calls, like pretty strenuous Zoom calls going over football and all types of stuff with probably 20 teams that I'd have, on top of that.
And then for you, obviously, when you're in high school, you go through the recruiting process. How similar is this to that, or is this just kind of a whole new type of overwhelming experience?
Yeah, never overwhelming. I feel like I was made for this. Like I love this lifestyle, and working out and playing football is my dream forever. So never overwhelming, but it's completely different. the whole process of, how people come to work every day and training and those type of things. It's more specific for the position, and, not being on a team currently, it feels a little weird to, be a little bit of a free agent, if you will. So, it's completely different, but I love it, and I'm embracing it for sure.
Hey Zach, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just wondering throughout this whole draft process, how much have you kind of leaned on former teammates or even your family, your father, your brother, on what the whole pro day and pre-draft process is like and what to expect?
Well, definitely having an older brother, my dad, and even 2 other older brothers who went through this process. That definitely helps a lot. Just seeing them going through it as a young boy, and coming up to it being my time to do it. It really helped me a lot through this process, and it's still helping me to this day. It's a lot of stuff, ins and outs that a lot of people don't know about that's involved in this process, and it can get real tedious at times, but having a good family behind you and friends and coaches that know how it goes, it helps a lot.
Thank you. Any communications with the Buccaneers throughout the process?
No, I haven't. I believe they've been talking to my agents, though. I haven't spoke with them yet.
Awesome. Best of luck on your journey.
Appreciate you.
Go to Matthias.
Thank you. Zach, here is Matheus Ornelas from Time Out here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. During all this process, a lot of scouts and the teams, they have to point the good and the bad in your game. So what do you think that's your main quality that you're bringing for the NFL, and what's the major skill that you have to work for the next level?
Okay, I would definitely say the best quality overall that I'm bringing to the NFL is my versatility. I've grown to know that teams like that if you can be versatile. Me having a background of playing outside corner, nickel, and a little bit of safety this year definitely has helped me a lot in being able to put that on film. Teams have liked that. I would say in terms of things I need to probably work on at the next level is just, overall I would say just being more consistent. It's in the NFL, it's very little room for error. It's different in college, so everybody can improve in that area. So.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Go to Ryan King.
Hey Zach, so just a couple quick questions for you. First of all, you mentioned the consistency. What have teams said about just your playmaking ability and just some of those highs that you can bring to during a game?
They definitely liked it a lot. Definitely coming off this year, just having a knack for being around the ball, whether it's fumble recoveries or just block kicks or interceptions. They definitely like that. The fact that I can get around the ball and having a knack for that definitely is very valuable at the next level.
And I know you said you've been around this with family and whatnot, but what have you learned about yourself through this process? Is there anything that's just you just I know you haven't been in an actual game in a few months, obviously, but just what have you learned about your game?
I'm very hard on myself, so obviously I'm always critiquing the little things as I should, but I'm definitely I need to give myself more credit than what I do. It's always good being hard on yourself, but every now and then you got to pat yourself on the back and that you're good at some things, and that's what I've started to give myself some credit for.
Go to Alex Fleming.
How you doing, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun? Got a couple of questions for you. One, your time in Lubbock. What have you learned from the area? Two, how good is your trash talk? Because if you're going to be a starting corner or nickel in the NFL, you need to have some good trash talk. And three, what can you do to improve your game as far as footwork or being a ball?
Okay. Well, coming down to Lubbock, it's very different from where I'm from. It's almost like a desert out here, so I had to definitely adjust to that for sure. Even the weather, the hailstorms. The first day out here, I came in, I think they call it like a haboob or something like that, which is like a dust storm. It happened to me. But other than that, what was your second question that you said?
Bro, trash talk. Corners, safeties, nickels. You're dealing with the best wide receivers in the game, if not the world. So
right.
How good is your trash talk?
I mean, I wouldn't even call it trash. I'll just say it's a little bit of swagger. You definitely got to have that at corner. A little air about yourself, some confidence on the field, some presence to yourself, and you let it be known to the receiver that you're about to dominate him. And I feel like that's what I do. And other than that, you let your play speak the rest of it, making plays and shutting them down, for sure. Yeah.
We'll go to other Alex.
Hey, Alex Kazor, Steelers Depot. I wanted to ask you about your background and growing up. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have 7 brothers and sisters, right? And basically they all played football or baseball or something, and your dad played football too. What was it like just growing up, being around that, and what have they kind of taught you and helped you to, learn during this process?
Yeah, so I'm just growing up in a real athletic family. I was the youngest boy, so just seeing all my brothers go before me and take this athletic route, I learned so much. It's the best thing I could ever ask for, just having these older guys around me that are very knowledgeable for the game, even on or off the field. But that would definitely help me a lot, and that made me who I am today. I give them so much credit. I'm not anywhere I want to be yet. I still got to keep on going, but they definitely helped me to get where I am right now.
Go to Daniel.
Hey Zach, when you made the transfer from Penn State to Texas Tech, it seems like you were really able to get on the field immediately and start contributing, and your game took off. I mean, what did that transfer do to you? What kind of went into that, and I guess how do you feel like it worked out for you?
That transfer did a lot for me as a player and as a man. Just being able to graduate early and just step out and go away from where I'm comfortable from, and I definitely would say it helped me build my character, and coming to this team, being an older player, it changed my responsibility. A lot of the guys I was older than, so they looked up to me as a leader, and that definitely has helped me as a player, just being more knowledgeable with things that I can help the younger guys with on and off the field. So, I mean, that transition was definitely a transition that I wouldn't say like needed, but it helped me a lot in my life as a player athletically.
Go to Ronald.
Zach, obviously this year everyone had the opportunity to come back next season, but for you, how much did this previous season help you make that decision that this was the time to go pro, when obviously you had all these momentum changing plays this past season?
Yeah, I would say, obviously, making a lot of plays and having a better year was definitely a valuable reason to, enter this year. But, I mean, I looked at it also from the aspect, I've been in college for 5 years, 2 degrees. It's a long time, to be in college for 6 years. And, it's just one of those things. I just felt like an overall transition in life that I was ready for. A big credit to these coaches down here. They have definitely prepped me with my 2 seasons as a man and as a player to make that step to the next level. And I just felt like it was just the right decision for me.
One more quick question for you: what would it be to hear your name called on draft day?
It'll mean the world. I've been working my whole life for this. It happened to a lot of my family members, so I mean, I'm ready for it. But I mean, if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I'm gonna keep working regardless, and they're gonna get the same player whether my name called or not, and I'm gonna give it my all.
Go to Faraz.
Hey Zach, I appreciate the opportunity, and I wish you the best of luck in the draft process. Now, you made a ton of strides from your junior year to your senior year. What specifically do you credit that to, and what do you think you have to do in order to make another jump, when you're in the NFL?
I would definitely say my determination, and the coaches was harping on me to, refine myself. I obviously had a good first year here, but it was so much. My ceiling was, I had so much more that I could tap into, and shout out to Coach Wells, KP, and Coach Jones, who have helped me through this process over the 2 seasons here, just to become a better player. And it definitely has helped me and make some big strides, and I really give a lot of credit to them for it too.
Go to Eric.
Right.
Zach, out of curiosity, in in terms of this pro day, what was the biggest thing that you felt like you needed to show NFL teams?
I would definitely say my speed. Definitely had to show that. A lot of teams are. I know they thought I was slower. They thought I was slower than what I was, but I mean, I'm definitely put down a good time today, and I think that definitely have helped me. And just going through the drills and showing my fluidness, my hip fluidity, and my ball skills was also really good and it helped me a lot as well.
Talk about how it helped having family members who have gone through processes like this. What was maybe something about this whole NFL draft process that surprised you a little bit?
I would say the biggest curveball was probably these Zoom interviews. It's real different when it's over the computer and you meet with these teams and all their staff members, kind of like how we're doing now. But just preparing for that whole part it was a curveball, but it's something I got used to over time. And I don't know, I find it as a good thing because it kind of helps with your people skills and your interview skills as well, just doing it over the computer as well.
And then finally for you, off of that, how many teams have you met with, just off the top of your head?
I met with all except for like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
All right, we'll finish with Megan.
Hi, Zach. Megan Price from Sideline Sports.
Hello.
Everyone is talking about how loaded this draft class is, and there's several defensive programs having to rebuild in the NFL. What can you bring to your position that sets you apart from others?
Consistency and making plays. Definitely, I know a lot of teams need that at corner and shoot at nickel and just being versatile, and I'll definitely say I'm a player that fits that in multiple programs in the NFL.
Awesome. Have you talked to Dallas?
Yes, I have.
Awesome. Hope to see you there. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Before we finish, we'll go to Oscar real quick.
Hello, Zach. I am from Mexico City. We have one player in Texas Tech. We follow Texas Tech, the Red Riders, because Luis Jaramillo is in the team.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion about Luis, like a player and human being?
Luis, he's a really good kid. The vibe that he brought to the corner room this past year, just being with him, it's pretty amazing. And just him coming from leaving home and coming to a different country, it's pretty amazing just hearing his story and how he got here and the way he works. It's pretty infectious, and it tells me just not to take anything for granted because he's doing it. He's away from his family. He comes to practice every day, ready to work, and he got a bright future ahead of him. I like Luis a lot.
Go to
Thanks, man.
Faraz to end it.
Hey, thanks. I just had a follow-up, man. So you obviously have family ties to the NFL, but I'm just curious if you had any contact with any current NFL corners or anybody in the NFL to help you along your journey.
Oh, definitely. I was working out these past 3 months with a ton of NFL corners. Jeff Gladney, Chris Harris, you name it, AJ Green. I was working out with all them boys, and they would help me a lot through these past 3 months, just teach me a lot of technical stuff and scheme, X's and O's. So being around them helps too.
Hey, TJ, how we doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. You're a big guy, 6'6", get up there, got the hops, big red zone threat. Who would you say you kind of like took pieces of their game watching at the NFL level to kind of like, okay, he does this well, I can probably do this well with my size, my frame. Has there been any specific players that you've kind of watched and added their respective from their game to yours?
Julio has always been a guy that, I watched film on, even starting being a young guy. He's a bigger dude, moves real well, drops his hips real nice. And you just wouldn't expect him to move that way. So I just kind of tried to take some of that stuff.
And throughout this pre-draft process, has there anyone that you've kind of leaned on for advice has gone through it before?
Of course, I have my uncle who's gone through some of this process and stuff before. But my dad's been with me every step of the way for, open ear for me to talk.
Awesome. And any communications with the Buccaneers?
No, not that. Nah, I can't recall.
All right. Best of luck on your journey, man.
Thank you.
Go to Matthias.
TJ, here's Matheus Ornelas from Time Out here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. Watching your tape, we can obviously see that you're a big guy that can do a lot of damage in the red zone, and maybe that's the main quality that you're bringing for the NFL. But you see other quality that the teams really like, or you personally like, that any team's gonna get it, they pick you.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be a complete receiver who can be dominant at all levels of the field, not just in the red zone.
And what do you think that you just about be a complete receiver? What do you think that you can improve for the NFL, or what do you already know that you have to improve?
I mean, one, just being consistent, day in and day out, and just being a guy that studies well, and I feel like that could really help me.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Go to Alex Fleming.
How you doing, sir? Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. You got your Jamar Chases and your Chase Mitchells and all these Jalen Waddles, Devontae Smiths, the big names, wide receivers in this year's draft. And then there's people like you who are uncut gems, Big 12 conference not getting a lot of attention. One, explain to me how much you work with your hands, because you have excellent hand technique. I didn't see you have a lot of drops. And two, what's the difference between you and not getting the notoriety and then you showing up on a team and showing out?
I feel like the main thing with that, is just coming in and just, like I said, being consistent, and, steady being a guy that just keeps improving day in and day out.
We'll go to Ryan King.
Hey, TJ, I know you're going to get dissected through this process, obviously, from all the different scouts and teams and whatnot, but what elite traits have teams mentioned that they really liked about you and they thought, would be a good fit? Just some of the positive side of this process.
Well, I mean, I've heard, I got good hands, and my length and, just my natural abilities, help a lot, especially in that red zone area, being a big target that, quarterbacks can kind of rely on.
Go to Faraz.
Hey TJ, good luck with everything with draft this year, man. So throughout your career, when you've gotten the opportunity, you put up the numbers, right? And I'm from Upper Hand Fantasy, and all the fantasy fans want to know, like, are you ever going to be on our fantasy team? You know what I mean? But we saw it earlier this year. We saw it throughout your career at Texas Tech. So how do you handle the fine line between showing your raw ability and being coachable, right? Which might mean changing up that technique a bit, even if it means sacrificing a little bit of what got you here in the first place in terms of that raw ability.
Really just, for me, just, buying in to what's best for the team and the organization at that point, and just doing whatever needs to be done to help, and then showcasing that ability whenever that time comes.
We'll go to Eric Kelly.
Hey, TJ, how's the entire draft process been for you as a whole?
It's been good. I spent some time, my training time up in Pittsburgh, in a small town, maybe an hour outside of Pittsburgh, and just tried to focus in on what I need to focus on. And, I've been pretty happy with the whole process. It's long, but, I'm blessed to be here in this position.
And then today specifically, what did you really want to show out in your pro day? What areas did you want teams to really see and notice about you?
I just, wanted to, give everyone a closer eye to see me up, more personal. I just wanted to show, I was a good receiver that people could look at, big, can move around a little bit, and natural good hands.
And then off the top of your head, you don't have to be exact with it, how many teams do you think you had contact with so far in this process?
I know at CGS, I think I had spoke with about 17 or so teams, something like that. And it's been, around that area.
Go to Ronald.
Yeah, this year, obviously, your numbers have been sort of down from the higher season that you've had, and you missed a couple games with injuries and things like that. But what about this year, tells you that this was the year for you to, go on into the draft?
Just that I was ready. It was time for me to, take that step up and just chase that dream that I've always dreamed about for so long.
Go to Alex to close us out.
Hey TJ, Alex Kazor, Steelers Depot. You mentioned you were up training in Pittsburgh. I'm outside the Pittsburgh area. What led you to train up near Pittsburgh?
Well, actually, one of my older teammates that was here, Broderick, he went up and trained in Pittsburgh. It was Newcastle, the Newcastle area, at Versatility Performance. I heard some pretty good things about that. It was good for me just to kind of get away, from everything that I was kind of used to and just, get in a spot where I didn't have too much to really distract me and just focus on what I need to focus on.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, have you had any communication with the Steelers, and if so, who have you spoken with?
I just got a call yesterday just checking in on draft day numbers.
Mm-hmm. And then just last question really quickly. I know you had some basketball offers coming out too. What led you to choose football over basketball?
I just felt like playing football was something I couldn't pass up on, especially playing at the D1 level. I've been a fan of it for as long as I can remember. My uncle played it, and playing in front of these crowds and doing things like that was something I didn't think I could pass up on.
Gotcha. Thank you. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Eli, Alex Fleming, Florida son, former Texas native. So I hope you gave a lot of people Raider rash during your career. Explain to me how your trials and tribulations have gotten you to this point, and how this has humbled you as you advance your career to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, been a lot of ups and downs, and I think that's something that has really shaped my career and shaped, the reason why I've been here. I mean, college football alone is very humbling because you meet some real dudes, you go against some real dudes, and you can't think about your losses too much because the other guy's getting paid for his college too. He's a legit dude, but it's just been a blessing just to have this day, have this opportunity. And I mean, a few injuries, a season-ending injury this past season, that was definitely humbling. And I knew that I was going to have a good day and look really good, look really smooth. And I think I went out there and performed pretty well today. So I'm very happy with that. And like I said, man, it's just a blessing to be here.
One last question. How do you feel about Florida?
Man, I love Florida. Let's go. Bring on that Florida sun, that humidity, and I want to be chunking the trophy to boat with Tom Brady at some point. That would be awesome.
Go to Matthias.
Eli, here's Matheus Ornelas from Timeout here in Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. Watching your tape, I personally really like the way you move, like outside, inside of the line. And we know that the NFL, this is a really big step for a guy in your position. Any NFL team talk to you about maybe move it inside the line, or maybe have some drills at outside linebacker for like maybe some covers or pressure the quarterback? How do you think with this chance and if any NFL team talk to you about that?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I think a lot of teams really like my versatility. Playing anywhere from, in college I played anywhere from a 0 to a 9 to an outside backer, like you said. And I have had talks with teams, and I think more than anything they just want to kind of see maybe where I'm comfortable at, or or if I'm willing to change positions. I have talked to teams about possibly getting heavier and move to a 3, and I've talked to teams about lightening up and play that outside backer spot. But either way, I think I can do it. I'm a football player. I don't consider myself a defensive end. I love playing ball no matter where it is, and I really want to help teams win games. And at the end of the day, that's more what I'm focused on.
And just a quick follow-up. You just say about Florida and how maybe it's not be good for you. We see like Brian Flores doing a bunch of stuff in Miami defense, using guys in different schemes and types. How do you think that you could like fit in a scheme like that?
Absolutely. I mean, I actually have a huge respect for Coach Flores, and I really love his mindset. I love how he organizes players and inspires his players, and I think they're doing big things in Miami. There's no doubt. I would love to join an organization like that, and they do a lot of fun stuff on the D line, like you said, and I think that gives you a lot of chance for mismatches and one-on-ones with guys that you may not typically see if you just line up in the same position every time. So. I think they're doing really exciting things in Miami, and it would be a blessing to be part of that organization.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll go
You
to
too.
Joshua Allen.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hey there, how we doing? There was a pause there for a second. So just want to ask you said you feel most comfortable as a 5-tech, and talking about Tom Brady and tossing trophies. The Buccaneers currently have 2 players in Ndamukong Suh and Will Golston in the final years of their deal in that base 3, 4, 5-tech spot. What would it mean to be able to go play for a team like the Buccaneers, coming from Providence, watching Tom Brady growing up, and him being your favorite player, be able to experience to go play with them down in Tampa? And have you had any discussions with the Bucs?
I haven't talked to a whole lot of scouts from the Bucs or anything like that. I believe my agent might have been in contact with a few of them here and there. But, I mean, it would mean the world. I mean, I have so many pictures of Tom Brady whenever I would go to Patriots summer camps and stuff like that. And I mean, I have, like, all his cards and from growing up. And, I mean, it would just be a blessing for sure. I mean, to just see how – I'm so curious to see how he works and how he handles himself. And I mean, apparently he's as good as advertised. Everyone I've heard and just the stuff you hear about him. But I mean, it would be awesome. I definitely would like to get back there a few times, but you can't get close to the GOAT. So unfortunately, in practice, he's got that 2 or 3 yard halo around him. So it would be fun definitely to see how he works and get after him a little bit in practice. If I was blessed with the opportunity to go to the Bucs.
How torn were you this Super Bowl? Rooting for, obviously, the former alumni there and your childhood hero. What was that like?
I'm not a betting man, but if I had to put money on it, I was going to go with the Bucs for several reasons. Playing at home, I thought that was a big deal. And, Florida, they didn't care about COVID anyways, so they were packing it out. It's kind of like betting against Saban in the national championship. You just really don't want to bet against Tom Brady in a situation like that. All credit to Pat Mahomes, but he looked kind of like a one-man show out there. I mean, without the starting O-line out there, starting tackles at least, I mean, he was running for his life. But I think Pat's going to go get plenty of hardware in his career.
Absolutely, I agree. Hey, best of luck on your journey, and maybe we'll see you down here in Tampa.
I hope so. Thank you, sir.
Go to Eric Kelly.
Eli, just curious, how's the whole process, just in terms of everything that surrounds the draft and the months leading up to it, been for you?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, but I'm really, happy to get today done with. I mean, April 7th, you've had plenty of time to think about it. You've seen all these other guys come out, seen all their other numbers, and I just think it's very relieving to get it done and be able to focus on the stuff that's going to get me on a team, on a 53, and that's the D-line drills, that's lifting heavy, that's just grinding out, as much as I love being a show pony and a track star, I just don't think that's what's going to get me on a 53. So it's been fun. A lot of anxiety and pressure and excitement's been built up, all the way up to April 7th. But I'm glad today is done with, and I'm ready to get to work.
Even if today doesn't get you on a 53, what were some areas that you came in wanting to really stand out the teams in?
Right, absolutely. I think the biggest thing I wanted to really show guys was my ability to cut, my change of direction. And I think I was able to do that. Obviously, I think I could have definitely performed a little bit better on some other drills. But as far as drills, as far as D-line drills and change of direction, I think I showed what I needed to show.
And then just out of curiosity, off the top of your head, don't have to be exact, but how many teams have you been in contact?
I mean, several. It's been really fun. I've talked to definitely at least half of the NFL. I couldn't give you an exact number, but I mean, it's just been a really, really fun experience. And like I've said this whole time, man, it's just a blessing to go through this process.
We'll go to Alex next.
Hey Eli, Alex Kazor, Steelers Depot. Just getting to listen to you for a couple minutes. You sound like you're a really positive, energetic guy, dealing with the injuries and the transfers and everything. How have you been able to maintain that positivity, both internally, your own mentality, and have there been people in your life that have kind of kept you in that positive mindset?
Yeah, I mean, my family's always been trying to, look at a positive mindset. That's the biggest thing for me, though, and it's something I really try to live by. I mean, because, life has its ups and downs, and you really got to stay steady and look on the bright side of everything. And, I'm a man of faith, so I believe, if I'm going through tribulations or something, I believe God's just trying to show me a lesson and show me, just a different perspective of things. And I think more than anything, it's just you just got to look at it with the glass half full. And I mean, you are what you think you are, and whether you can or you can't, you're right. So I'm all about the mindset and being positive no matter what.
And from a football standpoint, what are your pre-snap reads and keys, and does that change when you're lining up, say, as a 3 versus as a 5 or a 9?
Man, I go through such a large progression, and I think that's obviously what has led to a lot of my success on the field. It just goes all the way down from film study, and the first things you start to look at is really quick, personnel, what's down and distance, who are they putting out on the field. All right, now you go formation, and then you start breaking down the tendencies that you've seen in the formations from film. What is the O-line looking like? Are they butts in the air looking like they're going to fire off on the ball, or are they getting in a really narrow stance looking like they're going to pass set? And I mean, I look at everything, all the way from what the quarterback's mannerisms are to the receiver. If the receiver looks slouched over in his stance, I know he's probably not going to run a route or get the ball. So I mean, I literally look for everything I can. And like I said, I think that is a big reason why I've had some on-the-field success. But obviously, once you get to the league, they're a lot better at hiding that. So I'm looking forward to increasing my abilities and my awareness and my intelligence of watching the game and learning the game from that aspect for sure.
Thank you, Eli. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Go to Faraz.
Hey Eli, how's it going, man? So you've been a 4-year starter, now coming into the NFL. How are you preparing going to the next level and potentially having to compete, for that roster spot, maybe at a position that you haven't had as much experience at?
Well, I think that is something I'm very blessed, with, is that I have played a lot of different positions in college. So I think that's something that prepared me, but the mindset's just completely different. You're taking a grown man's job who's got kids and a wife and a family, and that mindset's a lot different than maybe some 18-year-old kid, who's still trying to figure out stuff, or some young adult. It's truly a grown man's game, and I mean, it's exciting. I think, I truly believe I'm built for it. It's what I want to do. And I feel like I have a lot of great experience, and I feel like I really have a good chance of, going in there and earning a job, earning a spot. And that's just my mindset.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have. And Mateus asked you something similar, but when you're talking to teams, what specific role do most of them talk to you about? And where do you see yourself most comfortable at the next level? And I'm curious to know if the Jets have reached out to you as well.
Yes, sir. I've had a few conversations with the Jets. I mean, I really love Coach Saleh, and I mean, he's bringing that 4-3 defense, and I love that. And most teams do see me as a true 5, and I feel like that's where I'm more comfortable. I think I could move around, 3 outside backer, whatever they want. I'm happy to do it. If they want me to run through a brick wall, I'm all for it. But I really feel like I'm more comfortable at that 5 tech, and I think that's where a lot of teams really see me at.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Go to Ronald Clark.
Eli, similar to TJ, I just talked to him about this a little bit, but obviously you guys had the opportunity to come back for next season, and then going through this past year, you had the injury and sort of had your numbers, fall down and things like that, missing a couple games. Why did it feel like this year specifically was a year to go, even with all that going on?
Yeah, that's a great question, and a lot of teams have kind of asked me the same thing, especially with the extra year granted to us. But, I just kind of feel like I've accomplished everything I really wanted to accomplish at a college level. Obviously, I wanted, more for me as far as stats and maybe putting my name higher in the record books or whatever, more of the selfish desires. But I don't know. I just started looking at the game, and I just wanted I wanted more. I wanted a bigger, and I want to really test my abilities. and I'm 23, you know, coming up on 24, and I've been blessed to receive my master's. So I really wanted to make that jump. I'm really eager. I really want to, you know, get better and sharpen my tools, and I feel very confident about it, and it's been such a fun experience, man. I feel like I made the right choice.
Go to Ron King.
Hey Eli, I know obviously the goal is going to be to, you know, be in the NFL and do all that, but during your time at Texas Tech, how much of the thought was it to, you know, make the NFL what you needed to work on to make a team versus, you know, just, hey, here's what I need to do week to week, but how much was that thought of, here's what I need to work on to get to the NFL, and what were some of those things?
Yeah, I mean, that starts in high school, honestly, that towards the end of the high school, once you make that decision in your mind, like, I want to go to the league. And in fact, like, that was a big reason why I came to Tech, to increase my chances to go to the NFL. And, you know, I remember whenever I was like, I'd already put my name in the transfer portal. I already kind of, you know, told Tech I'm coming. I pretty much just, you know, already signed my name on the dotted line. And I told my mom, I was like, you know, Mom, I'm kind of having second thoughts a little bit. And she goes, listen, man, if you want to go to the league, like, and you can't even start at Tech, like, what makes you think you're going to go to the NFL? And I mean, that was just kind of like the slap in the face that I needed. I was just like, you know, you're right. I need to make this jump, and I need to make this leap of faith. And I mean, it completely panned out for me, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life coming to Texas Tech. But I mean, you're always thinking about it. If you're truly obsessed with it, like I am, you're always watching film on other players. You're always trying to steal their footwork or whatever you can from them to help your game. And, you know, a lot of guys do put a lot of weight in the pro day numbers and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, if you can play ball, you're going to play. And that's really what I've always tried to do, is craft and try to, you know, emulate, you know, the guys that are getting paid big money in the NFL for it.
Go to Megan Price.
Hi, Eli. I'm Megan Price with Sideline Sports. Defense is a top priority for several different teams this draft. Has one team in particular communicated or show interest in you, and have you talked to Dallas?
Yes, ma'am, I have talked to Dallas. And I've talked to, like I said, I've talked to a plethora of teams. I've talked to a lot of them, definitely over half the NFL, and a lot of them really like my ability to get after the quarterback on the pass rush, and that's definitely my favorite thing. You know, you got to earn the right to pass rush by stopping the run, but there's just no feeling like getting that quarterback on the ground. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I have talked to the Cowboys. You know, that's America's team and all that good stuff. I'd love to play in Jerry's world, but you know, we'll just have to see. You know, I'm just praying that one team believes in me and you know, brings me aboard.
Absolutely. We'll hope to see you in Dallas. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We'll finish with Alex.
Hey, just one more question, Eli. I know you were selected to the NFL PA Bowl as a virtual experience. What kind of things did they do virtually, since obviously they couldn't play the game this year? Yeah, no,
it was a wonderful experience. You know, the NFL PA did a great job of putting it on, even with, you know, all the COVID and everything going on. But the biggest thing I gained out of it was we were able to get on a Zoom call with Bruce Smith and Cam Jordan. And, excuse me, I mean, that was just unreal. I mean, I think they talked to us like for an hour and a half, like 30 minutes over the time they were supposed to talk to us. So they were really invested in it. And I wrote down like 4 or 5 pages of notes, just, you know, everywhere from your mindset going in, how you're supposed to approach it. You know, a lot of the old guys may not be giving you a lot of tips, you know, because you're coming for their job and such. But I mean, it was just an incredible experience just to be able to talk to 2 truly incredible Hall of Famers, and I mean, it was a great experience overall. I'm very thankful for the NFLPA selecting me to that.